A huge tract of land in northern New South Wales will be transformed into a safe haven for endangered native animals, including koalas, platypus and regent honeyeater birds, bred at Sydney's Taronga Zoo. The Taronga Conservation Society has acquired more than 3,000 hectares of land near Bingara, a site more than 100 times the size of the zoo. And to tell us more about this project, we're joined by Taronga's Director of Welfare, Conservation and Science, Andrew Elvinston. Andrew, thank you. Now, what are you hoping to achieve with this land?
Yeah, so this new site, it really is about restoring habitat to give a lot of our priority species a future. Unfortunately, protecting what's left just isn't enough, and we need to be doing active restoration at landscape scale as well.
And why this site, and how is this being funded?
Yeah, so we did a lot of work to find a suitable site. We had to look at, the sort of habitat we wanted and the species it would support. We had to think about climate change and, resilience to make sure that it's going to be good habitat in the future. So there was a big process to then find a site, and we were looking on the open market as well, so we had to be working with what's actually available. In terms of how the site will be funded and the model behind this, it's a unique partnership as well. So through the restoration work, we'll produce high integrity Australian carbon credit units, and Sydney Airport have come on board for a long-term supply of those credits. And with a partnership, they'll also support some of the conservation and rewilding work, which is really exciting because this is a program that'll play out over decades, and you need financial stability to deliver something like this.
And so a big project, as you say. What's the starting point and the really critical steps that you will see along the way?
Yeah, what we're doing right now is a lot of what we call baseline surveying. So baseline vegetation, native mammals and birds and reptiles, and also the pests and weeds that are on the site. So at the moment, we're just doing things like fencing, weed control, pest control, and really importantly, working with First Nations groups on cultural heritage assessment, so we can have a cultural heritage management plan. And then that puts us in a position, hopefully, to be planting and revegetating the site in the middle of next year.
What sort of species would you expect to see first, and how long do you think it'd take till we see, hopefully, established populations of koalas, for example?
Yeah, it's hard to say, but hopefully some of those species, like there's koalas in the area, there's koala records within sort of 15 kilometres of the site. So through good management, some of those species might come back, and the site's connected to good remnant habitat in the Nandewar range, so there's pathways back into there. With the revegetated area, we know within about 5 to 10 years, a species like koalas might come and feed on those trees and move through those areas. And we'll see birds and small mammals and small reptiles, they'll bounce back pretty quickly when we get things like pest control really happening.
Are there plans to acquire more land in future through similar partnerships? I mean, is there more interest from potential corporate sponsors here?
Yeah, so our habitat positive model is about the holistic restoration of landscapes to support threatened species. And we do hope that more corporate partners will get involved and work with us on potentially new sites. But there's different ways to do it. We don't necessarily have to acquire sites. We can do that on all sorts of different tenures. It's more about the model, about how the restoration is delivered.
And finally, how are current conservation efforts going at Taronga? Have there been any big wins or, as can sometimes be the case, disappointments of late?
Oh, look, one of the things that's happened really recently that we're really proud of is a recent release of regent honeyeaters in the Tamalpin woodlands on Woononara country. That's a critically endangered species. These releases are preventing the extinction, the science shows that. But just really exciting about that is there's lots of breeding occurring. We're starting to see some fledglings and things like that. So that's a really promising sign for regent honeyeaters. But the key thing to recover them long term is habitat, which is why Taronga started this habitat positive model.